can you together find out 10 jobs which you would say these jobs will not be there in the next 5 years according to AI, and tell me 3 jobs all together as a team where you would say these are new jobs which jobs which increase significantly according to AI?
So I think that the first jobs that are already starting to disappear since AI is actively pursued is lawyers.
Totally.
Yeah, there is always the squeeze to the top, right? But on the ground, it's already happened.
Okay.
So I see it in the same direction everywhere where you have clear lines where the context and the text and the content is static, more or less, like first level support in each and every sector. There we see it already. And lawyers, of course, since you have the book of laws, it's not changing.
I want to be a little bit skeptical to that quote. Obviously, it makes more interesting on a podium. Maybe, yes, let's prove Deep Judge if they really can replace. What we've seen before with Copilot, I mean, yes, it helps you a lot to, for example, document your own code. It helps you a lot to parse a string into, very basic stuff. But it helps you almost zero for the really challenging creative parts of code writing. And that's probably similar with a lawyer. A lawyer is not just squeezing through your documents and, okay, this is the same block. It's at the end to find this tiny little creative special thing. I'm not so sure we will see that going completely replaced by an artificial intelligence in the next couple of years. If you talk about code writing on a machine level, PLC, there's almost zero help today from these co-pilots. Our top engineers stopped using it because it's creating something, and the debugging of the created stuff takes longer than do it from scratch. So it's hype. Let's see if we can significantly improve. But on the other hand, jobs will never go away is labor craft, handcrafts, painting, the painting stuff, the construction side, and elderly care. Not because we cannot completely replace bringing the food or something, but no one wants it, especially not in the European societies at least.
I would like to start debating. Yes, the ladies' corners on the left. So two things. First, I would say that it's not full jobs going away, but 80% of the tasks within a role, probably. But Leah writes her interview questions herself, plus the content of the answers, but I always have to overgo it because it's not finished to go out to the media. AI is very primed in a way that you can always detect that with ChatGPT. It uses weird words sometimes humans would never use. And my co-founder is in construction industry. He runs $1 billion business, and they won the Microsoft IoT Award for a dog on train tracks repairing the tracks. It's a dog AI based. Plus, they press here on a button, and in Australia, because the people don't want to work at night anymore, in Australia, when they press here on the button, the construction cars start moving in the construction site, and you can actually navigate as an engineer through AI the tiny little bits of things that the construction cars do there. So it's not 100 or 0 the answer, but yes.
So I have now to leave to find a new job, but your job is safeguarded. Guido, you wanted also to comment on this from us?
So, I mean, it's all highly opinionated, right? We don't know anything, actually. But it's clear EV business is not going to happen, really. The race is already lost, electronic vehicles, right? And the guy who already has figured it out is Elon Musk. And Tesla is launching robots. It's Optimus. I'm not sure if you have seen it. And I think exactly all these tasks that you just expressed, I think what I have seen, and I was really, first time I was afraid, really. I was super impressed. Probably in a year, you can buy one of these Optimus and they do all these labor tasks, including elderly care.
Why are there still human workers in the Tesla's factory laying the trees of cables through the cars? Why?
Because Optimus is not launched yet.
Yes, and it's, again, marketing a lot. Boston Dynamics, they train maximum a couple of times until for one cool video. Optimus, have you seen the speed, how they actually can really do a task, like folding a t-shirt or taking dishes in a more complex environment, because this you can pre-train. More complex environment, your children load the dishwasher, it's finished, open up. Now take all the dishes away and restore them.
I agree.
But
it's not about now, it's about the potential. And the potential is there. And today we see the first time a robot.
It's about potential, and now it's the first time we can observe a robot that has capabilities that like very much what humans are doing, not such effectively and efficiently, but that's like, I mean, all this AI, what we're talking about, these LLM models are not so sophisticated. That's from 1956, and now we have a hype here. What we have to talk about is superintelligence. And that's a total different dimension, and questions will be raised in a total different dimension. So when we talk about these opportunities, I agree, but this is like a business case. For everything, you have a machine that delivers certain capabilities for a particular task. And I think we are much closer than what we all believe we are at the moment.
I think in general we must divide it into the sections. I've explained before with the is AI or LLM able to create something completely new that was not trained before, and this is no. So this means here I agree with that point. On the other side, we have now also the word generative AI, so this also generates on-the-fly stuff. So the new thing is basically with generative AI that you could have a pre-trained model that could do nothing, that was not trained, but you could train in real time new stuff onto it. So this is basically the magic behind today. But what we have clearly noticed is something create out of the nothing. So jobs that are related to where you have to be creative, create something completely new, is simply impossible that right now it could replace it. And all the jobs where you have absolutely not to create something new, you do something based on instructions, no problem. I would divide it into these two sections.
Annika, what is Leia in very short nutshell telling us?
She says healthcare, finance and manufacturing to streamline processes and improve outcomes, and that underlines what you said. And that's what I always see. You can tell the AI even to be inspirational about certain topics, but you can never, she always has to get the input about what. So she can act as a CEO being very inspirational about all topics in the world, but then she can never have this ideas that all of a sudden a human has on something, because you're connecting the dots.
Okay. Last question for the first round. You are all here. Who of you can imagine that because of AI, tomorrow you have not to work anymore, you just sit at home, you get fed by a basic salary from the government or out of the economy, looking to sitting in the garden and go walk with your dog the whole day and doing at least nothing because AI took over your part?
Yes, I think so. That's a singularity. I mean, if you look at the high-level macro trends, we have demographics, right? We have overpopulation. We have resource issues, and we have automatization, also technology advancement. And this all looks, in the first instance, if you look at it in an isolated way, as a conflict. But actually it's harmony. All these forces are balancing each other out. The only factor in that equation that is limiting is energy. And if you think at the very end of the day, it's all about particles. And when we have superintelligence, we have to optimize for an outcome, right? And what the outcome optimization is going to be, that's the most difficult questions that we have to answer. And at the end of the day, if the machine is optimizing for the energy, humanity could be the food on the table.
Before I continue the microphone, there was a sentence said by, I think, World Economic Forum, according what happens with all the people who are replaced by AI, and said, yeah, okay, we give them drugs and television, and then they are fine. So again, the question very specific for who of you could imagine to do nothing like they propose because AI took over your job?
So I would say it's the worst option you could do. So if it's always the question, if you want to survive finally, how fast you could evolve or adapt a new situation. So this means if AI is doing tomorrow my job, I searching for something new or doing something new that is, let's say, accurate for me or whatever. But I would say doing nothing is the worst option. So this I definitely not took. So.
I cannot imagine. It would be probably two things: beer and TV one side, or like the next level of society where we have all basically our basic needs fulfilled, and we can do just, I don't know, chit chat, explore, paint, innovate, whatever we want. I mean, it's kind of a dream versus okay, worst case scenario. But honestly, from my tech heart, this is so far out. So for me, difficult.
I had a designer in our team calling me in January 23, and she had a depression because she said she doesn't get a job anymore in the agencies in Berlin as a creative because she wasn't trained in AI and she wouldn't get any job anymore. And I said to her, listen, if now a machine can do what you did before, maybe there's something inside of you that you are really passionate about and you should think about and trust yourself that you like really connect with yourself and see what else is in there as what you're trained. And this is maybe a little bit spiritual, but I love that after 15 years in management and MD and C-level positions that an octopus takes over my role because I'm sick of it. and I can like when we remember that we are human beings, we're not human doings, we're human beings, and it's enough to be, and it's enough to follow things that are more pleasurable than doing 10-hour or 16-hour days. So I love what I do, but as well, I don't have any problem in vacation, just enjoying things and spending time with humans and following, I don't know, singing, dancing, whatever.
Who of you in the public, just raise your hand, would be like to be replaced by AI and doing nothing? Okay, good. Reto, you? Okay, we have to discuss it later. Okay.
Can I just add one?
But now we come to, I would open the round to, just for one question again. So at least all these changes are changes between human and technology, between AI and the human factor. So who you see, or which institution you see in the position to manage with a code of conduct or with values or anything, that this transformation process for our society, even for us as humans, is managed in a good form? What is your proposal? Who can take care of that?
I cannot answer that. I mean, you see, there is an entity or a group that was started 2012. Where all AIs, people came together, and Musk was the guy who donated 10 million to get these policies and ideas set up. But they're full of conflicts, and they're still not aware how it should evolve. And as you have seen, Elon Musk has now sued Microsoft and Altman since they want to use the AI as we see it for commercial reasons, and thinks that it's going down the wrong path. It's beyond my capabilities to comprehend and predict what should be the right governance model, actually.
Yeah, I love to discuss this question, but there is no simple answer. But for sure, I'm voting for that each country has maybe his own ideas how their AI should work, so there is not the one AI. I also think in Switzerland, at least this, let's say, octopus model with the 7 government departments, we already doing it here. And maybe also our AI will finally work like that more and not like the one AI and so on. This is for sure clear, but it's impossible to answer that.
I think most priority should be basically to protect the personal data, health trackers, financing data. What we see now, or what I observe now, is we get more and more to complete transparency towards the large enterprises, and actually there is actually forces from the government itself. And who can stop this? That would be kind of governmental regulations, but usually they are way too slow. So I think currently there is no easy solution, but I don't believe in this. I don't know who should that be, and the super foundation. No, at the end it should be the sovereign, the government, but in a much faster tech agile version. We're compromising always this benefit towards the downside. There's always downside.
Annika and Leia.
So the answer to this on a first level is you need to have the consciousness to address this question and think about it. Having researched 20 years and more together with the team about this, like who is the human, what's the essence of the human? Today's governance and political systems are very far away from that. They are right now planning wars and all of that. To go to the human essence, you need, I think it will come from within the system, from organizations, from communities. You need psychologists, coaches, you need people who are trained on human being, on what your heart is, your heart-brain coherence, a lot of these things. Nothing is today in a comprehensive way covered by any institution that we see. So it's on us and others to connect and build this. So next to what we see here, for example, we do executive retreats on exactly that, on the human technology, on who are we as humans, essence, what drives us, passion, creativity, hard technology, all of that, because it's very important. Either people fall into depression or fear from AI, or they like, wow, this is amazing. I can now really shift into the next step of humanity. So to power that, we have to address this. When I'm be honest, I always see that we can we have like training camps for humans to reconnect to themselves, and we can use churches and locations like that, not religion, but we can use all these community places to reactivate what it actually means to be human. And this is a beautiful ethical thing that is now happening because of AI. It's almost kicking our butt. Hey, I'm taking over 80% of what you are or what you identified with before. So let's figure out who you are. And it's either fear or it's potential, I think. That you don't really have much choices.
I think we should really make for next Crypto Mountain a workshop where we think and discuss with all the brains we have here, the more than 9 octopus brains, about what could be a solution. I think the industry and we should come up with answers ourselves and not leave it all for the government. I would like to move to Web3 very quickly. Here I would be interested of all of you, if you look to Web3, a lot of people take over that AI is supporting and could be a lot of benefits, and you presented all the kind of business models, but I would like to say in general, in AI and Web3, which are business cases, practical business cases, which are needed here for the technological development, where you say these are things which are absolutely a good branch where we have to invest in, or where we could go for, because there are problems and challenges to be solved.
It started with Internet of Communication in the end of 90s, and it was basically the guys who bought the infrastructure were the winners. Then we have the Internet of Things, which is basically the symbol is the smartphone, iPhone, which we all created us. We were prosumers, right? Producers and consumers at the same time, but we all paid to the platform. And Web3 is for me nothing else than sharing economy.
Regarding to Web3, I thinking if I compare it now with AI or combining it, in Web3 it was, for me from a technology perspective, it was somehow like a new way to do things or a new kind of database or something like this. If I have a look into AI, it changed everything finally. Also from IT perspective, the knowledge database things and so on. So it's much more broader. So also if you ask the question where we should go into it, so you will have AI everywhere else. Web3 you had in specific industries finally, so it's quite different. You could not compare it finally.
I cannot give a qualified answer to that. This is not really my field of expertise.
What I love what Web3 does is the bringing communities together and creating a certain purpose. That's what I always see, and therefore we have a lot of green solutions, etc., on the blockchain. To me, Web3 is something that is going to be obsolete soon. So it's almost what should we focus on in terms of business cases, the question, because we're already in Web4 almost. So the definition, maybe you know better, or you?
No, I never heard this term.
Yeah, and we're going to Web 5. This is for sure.
I think it's a little bit like.
Yeah, probably the AI included. Plus, Web 3 is often too cryptic, so AI has proven to be very simple.
Good. No, okay, I think yeah.
One short answer. Yeah, I see. What I already ask myself, what will be survive the Web3 to the next generation of things? I see it like you have just explained. It's highly inconvenient for that, but I see it only in the login identity access management. That will be the only final thing where we see Web3 or stuff from Web3 in a longer term. Everywhere else, it will go back to an absolutely commodity IT system like a database.
So we see now that you had not so many answers. We have directly Leah Love. She has answers. Annika, very short. What is Leah Love telling us about it?
She says you can see her positioning, her priming in the realm of Web3 and decentralized tech. Humans should focus on business cases promoting sustainability, community empowerment, positive social impact. Regenerative tech, decentralized finance, social good, blockchain solutions for environmental conservation, community-driven platforms. By harnessing the power of Web3 for greater good, we can create a more equitable and sustainable future. That's her opinion.
Good, perfect. Because I think the fondue is waiting, and we have a train to catch up for that. So last question, or last round, quickly to Metaverse, AI and Metaverse. For me, I'm not an expert on that, but for me it looks also a little bit like the question before, that these are two separate things, because Metaverse is a kind of marketplace virtual reality, which is in it where people play and active do something whilst they have lost their jobs on the AI, and so that they're doing the things themselves. But if you look in this metaverse and say AI, what kind of role and what kind of use case can AI play in the future metaverse?
I think it's combined. Also for me, when we talk about blockchain, then AI is an important part, because so far the blockchain killer app is only tokens, right? That's all what it is, and we buy stuff and it goes up and it goes down. But the real purpose now is, with the hash function, you can have a source of truth. And if you look what happened with ChatGPT-4 and even with the Google guys, right? I mean, it just became a total fluffy. I mean, if you ask specific questions, GPT-4 answered differently 12 months ago than now. And why is it? Because it has narrative of narrative, and there is basically training goes with certain principles, right? And you can basically influence the outcome rather than pursue intellectual honesty. And that's why AI and blockchain hashing the source of information is a combined business case for me.
Okay, but we have seen that AI is replacing jobs in the real life, and now I'm moving to Metaverse to have a little bit of entertainment and spend my whole day. And now AI is also replacing me on the Metaverse with my job, or with my new job, or entertainment, or what is the practical combination of AI in the Metaverse?
So if we talk more in the metaverse way, like the Meta Quest from Facebook or from Meta, then in my opinion, it's totally two different things. So the AI is something like we have seen to generate something and so on, and the metaverse is like replacing the real world where we are here right now, and we are going in then with an avatar. So if the AI is replacing me as an avatar in the metaverse finally, then I have enough time to go back to the real world. So,
this is. Ich mache ganz kurz, weil wir müssen umstecken. This is reverse engineering of humanity then, right? So Leah Love says, and this is quite a profound answer I find, optimizing virtual worlds enhance virtual reality experiences and facilitate more immersive and engaging interactions within the metaverse. Virtual communities, events, collaboration, communication.
Okay, so it's the activator. Philipp?
Do you remember the Linden dollar? Second Life, 20 years ago, Linden dollar.
Yeah.
I don't believe in these things. Fully immersive would mean you need like a spacesuit with all the touch and feel, and then you can really hug a person on the other continent. And maybe then the porn sector is interesting, but otherwise, I don't know. I rather spend physical contact and drink a beer with people.
Perfect. Yesterday I told the same in my statement, so perfect. So according to time we have to finish now. I think this was a very nice panel, and I think out of that we should really make some master classes and discuss the things, because I think these are important topics and we should be leading with Crypto Mountain on that. Please, let's have a picture also, and after the final words of Reto, and then I hand over to you, and I hope you are fine with that.
Sure.